Hello LEGO fans, Bricks Unbound here with a mock video. Today we're looking at the Vill Inn. It is kind of the place for villains in my city to come, get a drink, hang out with their villainous buddies. And you've seen it in a few of my city updates. It's been sitting in there for a little bit. Finally put the last few touches on here. It's not 100% complete and there's always room for changing it, of course. But this is going to be probably the only video on it unless I make substantial changes down the road. This does have 4 stories in it. It's got our ground floor, 2 floors with rooms on them, and then an upper attic space as well, which we'll see as we go through the interior. We're just going to do a spin here first. Out here on the sidewalk, there are plenty of jumpers for people to stand. The sides are pretty plain. The idea is, of course, that it is modular. You can see the Technic bricks down here to attach it to other LEGO modular buildings. So pretty plain on the sides, just a couple windows high up because this thing is quite tall compared to the modular buildings. Again, you can see that in my city. There is a back entrance to it which goes into the kitchen of the place, as well as a couple windows on the lower floor, which I'm just going to highlight those here quick. There's studs on the side building there. You can see I'm not 100% satisfied with how it worked because these grate pieces were not quite big enough to cover 3 studs worth of space, so I had to put a plate on its side. But I did like using that as pieces instead of just going for generic windows like what are on the upper floors here. Alright, and then the last side, you can see these gray stripes at the side. Those are for chimneys and fireplaces within the actual build, which we'll see here in a moment. One last look at the front of the building. We'll zoom in down on the front here. I always have a little bit of trouble designing like the lower floors of buildings. I don't know why that is, but I have the same issues with like the Ultra Agents HQ as well. But again, we got the windows here using those fence pieces. These are a little bit wider. They're 5 studs wide, so you can fit 2 of them side by side. Main entrance door here with Kite Man trying to figure out how he's going to get in with his big old wings. Looks like Harley is getting kind of sick of waiting and is about to smack over the head and just go in herself. As we go up floors, the floors are not exactly the same on the interior. Exterior wise, though, they do look the same. I'm missing one flag. I'm not entirely sure what happened to it, but there should be another red one over there, but it has disappeared. I like these sticking out because if you want, you can pose figures swinging on between them and battling each other, because the whole idea of this is, you know, just to have fun. It's not based on anything in particular. And on the roof we have Deathstroke facing off with Batgirl. I just used these round 2x2 plates there. The chimneys are on these hinges, so it doesn't necessarily look the greatest, but it made it so I could stick them on a roof that's slanted and still have them pointing upwards. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the inside of this beast. Alright, we're going to start up here at the roof and work our way down. The roof just lifts straight off here. It's just a bunch of plates stacked on each other with some inverted slopes down there, which just catch right on the edge of the building here to keep it in place. Zooming in here, this is an attic section. Pretty much a long forgotten and very much disused attic. Just lots of spider webs and crates sitting around here. I'll go ahead and remove the back of the roof so you get a little bit more light in there. Just a bunch of chests, random stuff, kind of run down looking. Pretty simple floor, and if you spin around you can really see down onto the floor underneath from up above. Got railing there that protects people from falling down. Pretty basic looking, but I do like the look of it. We got Venom hanging out, and you can see down to the floor underneath, which you'll be able to see better when I take off this one. And then stairs leading even further down into the depths of the building. I actually like how this turned out with the supports up there for the roof. I think it turned out pretty good, and it does help stabilize it quite a bit. Alright, so that does it for this floor. Not a whole lot going on. Let's go ahead and head down to the next one. Alright, so this is the first one where we see a little bit more going on. This is a floor of bedrooms, as well as it has one little study or library type area for the villains. We'll start out with that. So we have Dr. Doom sitting in his chair staring off into the flames. And this just always strikes me as kind of a quintessential villain thing to do. You have a high back chair before a fireplace. People can come in behind you. The doors just all swing open. And then talk to you without being able to see you. So it adds that air of mystery and evil to it. I like how the fireplace turned out. I also like these bookshelves over here. It's a fairly simple, straightforward build to do, but I think they always turn out nicely. Have one on the back wall as well, and a little writing desk with a chair back behind. Let's take a look at one of the bedrooms. You'll see bedrooms pretty much exactly like this on this floor and the one below. They're all pretty simple. It just has a fireplace, a little bed there, and the door swings open. The doors themselves are brick built, as you can see here. Lots of plates and tiles used to build it. And there's how it connects to the wall. And they work pretty well. Happy with how they turned out. If you look into the hallway, you see Killer Frost staring at some beautiful artwork up on the wall. Another bedroom over here, as well as one for Captain Hook. I had at one point considered making each villain's room something special and themed to that villain, and I don't know, I just decided against it, not just because of time constraints and parts and whatnot. I just would like to be able to use the same building in maybe just a medieval setting sometime, which would require quite a bit of rebuilding on the interior, and this way the villains can switch up the rooms, and it is an inn, so you're not going to be there forever. Another room over here with reverse flash laying down. Stairs going up, stairs going down, and a clock on the wall. Alright, so that does it for that floor. Going down one more here. See if I can do this one-handed. There we go, managed not to destroy anything. How about that? So this floor, instead of a library, has a bedroom with 2 beds in it. The rest of the rooms are all just basic bedrooms. Here we've got Red Skull and a Hydra henchman hanging out in there. Basic bedroom over here. Saruman coming down the hallway. 2 more bedrooms on the other side. And Loki's staring out the window forlornly over here, dreaming of conquest and taking over Asgard for himself. There is one very small room over here, which is just a simple bathroom area. I guess there is no bath. So it's just a toilet and a sink in there. That toilet build is not in my own design. I cannot remember where I saw it, if it was a YouTube video or Instagram or what it was, but it's a pretty good build for a toilet. I think it looks very good. The sink on the wall, very basic again. I like the little tiled floor though. I think that's kind of fun. Tons of tiles on the floor in this build. You can see this floor as well as the one above it. Not in the attic though, but they're completely tiled over. And I just like the look of this a lot better than studs. It does raise the piece count for this just crazily. I think there's well over 100 of the 1x4 tiles there, as well as some jumpers interspersed. I really like those printed tiles as well that I believe are from an Angry Birds set, the pirate ship one. I just got the set for the parts, found it for like 50% off or something, harvested those out, and I'm going to piece out the rest of it. But I do like how this floor turned out as well. I wanted there to be plenty of room for villains to stay in the inn while they are in between jobs, as it were. I'll go ahead and remove this one. And the final floor, which is definitely my favorite of the entire build. You come in through this door here, which leads into the common room of the inn, where we've got lots of people just sitting at tables, playing some games, making plans. I believe all of these figures, except of course for Darth Sidious over at the bar, are from the collectible minifigure series of Batman or some of the sets from the Lego Batman movie. Big old fireplace over here as well with some logs off to the side, and then a place to put your weapons. You don't want to lay your gun on the table in a villain establishment. I mean, that would just give the wrong idea. Like the build for the fireplace. Little stage over here with Red Hood giving a performance. And then on this wall we've got a little coat rack, cloak rack, weapon rack, whatever you want to hang on it. Off to the side of the bar, where again Darth Sidious is the bartender, because you know that's his job, that's what he does in villain establishments. A few stools around it. This floor again is completely tiled. I again am very happy with how this turned out, with the bottles sitting on the shelf back behind him and cups hanging up above, so you can prepare people's drinks. If we go off to the side from there, we have King Tut in the kitchen. He's stirring up some big pot of stew of some kind. Lots of nice ingredients there. Stack of plates, along with a sink down at the end and some various utensils on the wall. I'm still really happy with that whisk that came with the Baker from one of the recent collectible minifigure series. Just a great piece. Glad I was able to stick it into a MOC here. Turn around underneath the stairs, there's just some barrels there for various storage of items. And then through this doorway over here gets you in to where all the plans happen. This is the like the conference room or the planning room for the villains of the Vill Inn, where they can come up with their ways they're going to take over the city. Looks like they're reaching out to some other franchises this time around and asking Syndrome to help them out. He's shown him the plans for his Omni Droid and how it will destroy everything. So I like to look at this room again. I'm sorry, this is my own MOC, right? So of course I like all of it, but I'm happy with how it turned out. Bookcase over here, which has the very highly coveted golden crowbar up on top, which is the reward for Villain of the Year, so you get to hang on to that crowbar and do your deeds with it, I suppose. And another bookcase over here that has a big old clock sitting up on top. Nice long conference table, lots of chairs around it. And that pretty much does it for this floor. Let's go ahead and get this thing put back together, and we can close out on some final thoughts. Alright, so for my final thoughts on this MOC, it very well might be my favorite MOC of mine that I've done. I really enjoy the superhero sets and have lots of the figures in my collection. It's not a complete collection by any means, but I was glad to have a way to have them wandering around my city and just be hanging out instead of trying to take everything over. And I think it turned out pretty good. Not to talk myself up too much, but I am happy with how it went. Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you have any suggestions, or tell me what your favorite floor of the MOC is or your favorite room. And please keep coming back for more videos. Thank you.